we got beat by one heck of a basketball team today, and they played great. They're really good. I thought their veteran poise was better than our veteran poise, and we couldn't guard them enough, and we couldn't get efficient enough offensively. And you're going to have to score to beat them. So disappointing for us, but it wasn't anything us not playing well. It was Indiana State imposing their will on us on both ends of the floor, and it kind of gets you back to trying to evaluate who you are as you move into the next game. But they played great, and they deserve a lot of credit.
Why such a letdown with your veterans?
I don't know.
With veteran poise in a game you knew you needed to get.
Needed it. I needed it. I think that's. I think they're disappointed. About it. We've been in those guys have been in those situations before. And then you got a team that gets really confident, and it's hard to deal with them. But we played a lot of different guys tonight. I think at times we're still searching for the right combinations, especially on the front line. In the midst of a tough loss, I thought Austin Burgett gave us great stuff, and we need to keep developing him. And I thought Zach August gave us great energy. Those two guys were really good. Our veteran big guys had a tough night, but everybody's going to get a chance again on Friday. Again, Indiana State was really good.
When it gets out of control early like that, early in the first half,
yeah.
how much do your guys maybe step out of character?
Yeah, we did.
Because they haven't been in that situation.
No, we haven't. Offensively, it was hard to, it was then you're pressing a little bit. You're driving after two passes. You're taking a couple quick shots. It was really, it was unusual for us. And I think even our old guys got rattled with it. You can chip away. I love the fact that we made a run, and I think did we take the lead? We actually took the lead. Then somebody said we didn't score for 7 minutes. But probably that shot selection in that 7 minutes would be really interesting to watch tomorrow before practice. I don't think, our shot selection was great after that.
What happened there, Mike, that results in that when you guys battle back to take a lead and then they go on an 18-3?
The game is nothing but runs, and I think sometimes you can fall into a trap when you come back and take the lead at home, especially in this building. For us, it's been like, okay, we figure out a way to get out of here, and I think because they were so poised and they're veteran, they just kept doing what they were doing. We were scattered, and they were attention to detail doing their thing, and again, they shot it so well. Big threes at key times are crippling psychologically to you. And I think they had about 6 of them that were just when you think maybe one of those goes down. And they had a lot of different guys shoot them and make them. And they're not larks. Like, these guys can shoot the ball. And they were really loose today shooting in here.
Coach, you'll have a better feel once you watch the film, so maybe this is a tough question to answer right now. But
yeah.
Your help side defense, so they were driving from 23 feet and finishing at the rim uncontested. Talk about your help side defense and just overall your defensive.
Wasn't great, disappointing, but what you got hung up with is you're hugging shooters on the other side. So we really got caught. You feel you can't help in the post, and you're playing the post one-on-one. I think Austin Burgett did a great job playing post defense because you didn't feel you could help off of anybody. And so what happens when you do that, you're left on an island a little bit in the post, and your help side is too worried about a shooter. And I was worried about us getting in there too much because they were on a hot lunch, from the 3-point line. So that's what you give up sometimes.
You got to pick your poison.
Yeah, you were trying to make them, because they just shoot twos. Like when their post guys went into moves, I just felt, well, God, at least it's a 2 right now. And because we tried to play zone a couple times just to change the rhythm. They made a big one every time. And but having said all that, you got to be more efficient offensively against. When we played them 3 years ago, it was similar teams. They were experienced, we were experienced. We just had to outscore them. We couldn't guard them, but we couldn't get into any offensive rhythm today, and pressed and got up tight and to their credit, they made every big play.
What has kick-started Burgett? He seems to be a lot more confident basketball.
Yeah, well, I think we brought him along. I mean, you know, in every game, you've seen me sub him quickly. I think I should have started him in hindsight of the second half. He got in there pretty quick. He's a key guy for us, and we just need to keep, you know, in the midst of a tough day, I want him to feel very good about how he played when I talk to him tomorrow, because he gives us something we don't have. And I thought Zach gave us great energy. Like, we got great energy out of those two guys. So, but Austin's a key because he's that face-up four-man, as we talked about in here. And and we ran that one set, and Jaron kicked it back to him for a three. He's going to make those too. He's made a bunch of those. Those are good shots. He had a good drive. He's flying all over the place. You know, I don't want him hanging his head too much. I want him to think about starting on Friday night. That's my objective over the next couple days.
What could you have done to kind of manufacture some energy at the start of the game? Just
yeah. Well, you know what was disappointing, Al? We got off to a pretty good start. Then we turned it over. I think we had 3 turnovers before the first media timeout. Those are just so deflating for a team that has taken historically really good care of the ball. The win came out of the sails. You know, we're 5-0. We're into a pretty good rhythm, and I think there were 3 turnovers before the first media timeout. That's just deflating if you don't get a shot against them. And then it kind of breaks up your rhythm and your confidence offensively. You know, so the turnovers hurt us.
Coach, you mentioned some of the bad shot selection. Was there a time when you felt that Jaron might have been trying to play a little bit too much?
Yeah, he was trying to jumpstart us. You know, I think for him, and it's a fine line, I think, you know, he's trying to force things and make plays. We're just trying to drive the ball because we were getting to the foul line. And, you know, you don't have any semblance of order when you're digging out of a hole sometimes. You're just driving it and kicking it. You know, to his credit, he has brought us back before, taking some tough shots, you know. So it's a little bit of a fine line, but I think, you know, in hindsight, probably, and he was the first one who said it at one of the timeouts, just forced a couple at key times where we could have moved it a little bit more. You know, I don't know how many rolled off inside, you know, where Zach has a putback. We have, I mean, it was, you know, you talk about wound up tight, not being able to make a layup. You know, it was the weight of the world was on the white jerseys tonight. And again, Indiana State imposed their will to do that.
You were 48-0 in this building apparently in the month of November at home.
I heard that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been I saw that in the game notes, but I guess it has to come to an end. They're you know, again, I want to make sure I give them a lot of credit. They're really a good team. It would have been a good resume win for us. You know, I don't think, you know, you always have to look big picture. I'm disappointed, and there's some things we need to address in practice this week. But it's, you know, they're going to be a top 100 RPI team, and they may be top 50 and could win their league. They're really good. You could say I should have my head examined to schedule them third game of the year. And Greg, who's done a great job, by the way, coach has done a heck of a job there in 4 years. First thing I said, hey, great. He said, thanks for scheduling us, because not a lot of people are scheduling them, and you can see why. But my feeling is, hey, we got to play people like that, and they put it on us today.
Does that help you down the road to have a game like this?
No, I think you have to shed that light on it. You know, where we're like disappointed, and you know, tomorrow's a day, and the next couple of days is a great day to teach. You have a very captive student body right now in that locker room. They're on edge, they're on pins and needles. That's a good thing. We haven't really been able, you can't create that while you're winning by 15, 20, 30, and you can't create that in practice. We have some stuff, you know, some stuff hit the fan in mid-November. Well, there's going to be more stuff hitting the fan. How do we react? And one thing I told our guys before we left, I said, this is a great challenge for our leadership already. You know, we've got some leaders here, we've got some captains, got some older guys. You know, we get punched in the face. How are we going to react in practice? How are we going to come back? How are we going to adjust? Who's going to start on Friday as we still search for the right answers? You know, again, if it was, you know, if it was a team, you know, if it was a team you didn't feel was going to have a good year, I think I'd be much more distraught out of it. But again, I think the biggest thing is their veteran poise better than our veteran poise. disappointed, and that's the thing to really touch on tomorrow. And we're going to need that veteran poise if we're going to survive our non-league schedule and our ACC schedule. Thanks, guys.